It is the beginning of new sight. These are the things that we have spoken of, except we've never been precisely attuned to those old souls who are awakening. It's a bridge. It's a bridge that is now crossable and is opening. What happens when this planet starts to be still and there's no activity and there's very little pollution and all of those things that are now quieted for a moment in time? And in that space, all of these things start to flow to the old soul, which couldn't get through before. Are you starting to recognize and realize perhaps some of the reasoning behind what is taking place on this planet and why it is quieted? Only for a while, dear ones, this will be over. But right now, in this place of stoppedness, things are starting to fly through that veil into the old soul's intuition. The pineal is starting to be very active and start giving visions to those who are apt to see visions, who are the vessels for it and the channels for it and the healing and healers for it. New processes are starting to occur, even to the healers who have been doing this for 40 years and more. They're going and they're sitting back and they're going, oh my, have I missed that? How did this happen? There was more all along, because this is what happens when you quiet yourself, healer. And you start to look upon your own work and you start to see that it may even be bigger than you thought. It's beautiful. It's like a change of channels from one frequency to another that you're starting to learn about and move toward and within. But let me give you something that you should know. Dear human who has experienced these things, I want to give you something that you should know. You are still a three-dimensional human being. Some say you're in 4D, for the fourth D, according to science, is time. So actually you walk around in 4D, and everything beyond that is a multidimensionality which is starting to occur to so many of you. You're starting to smell it, to hear it, to feel it. Be aware of this. There's going to be a tendency for those of you receiving this kind of information to simply record it. And what I mean by this is, what if I said to you, look at this multidimensional building, look at this, look at these beautiful colors, I would like to tell you about it, I'll write it down, I'm going to draw it, I'm going to sing about it, I'll do all these things. And you say, well, that's beautiful. And you say, okay, there's another one over here. Take a look at this other one over here. It's a multidimensional building and has all of these things. And look at the various forms you've never seen before. And before you can get to the first one, the second one, and then the third one, and the fourth one. And then when you're done, and you say, this is my contribution to the planet, and then you rest. And all those who are looking and seeing are saying, what a beautiful picture. What do I do with it? Here's what I want to tell you. I want you to stop for a moment and go inside. Every one of you who has come to the conclusion that there's more, and the light language, and all of the interdimensionality and the multidimensional things you're seeing, and all the colors and the layers and all stop for a moment. And I want to tell you something. With every single one of them comes additional information that floats underneath. And you can't simply move to the next one and say how beautiful, or report it, or draw it in a book, or even sit and meditate on it. Every single one of them comes with, are you ready? Action. Every one of them. If I told you, look at this beautiful building, isn't that wonderful? Now here are the plans to build it. You didn't know that, did you? Every single vision you have has something that complements it, that also comes with it for you. It comes with it for you to teach, because you're the ones who are seeing it. But because of this four-dimensional linearity, you don't see that. That is not something you're used to having. You see the picture. You see the concept. You see the colors and you hear that which you hear or taste it and you move on. Not understanding that underneath that is all the data. The beauty of an actionable item comes with every single layer that you're seeing and you're teaching. An actionable item. So with all of those, dear ones, I want you to go backwards and start understanding, how do you build it? What does it mean? Truly, how does a human being use something that you see? Because that's the only reason you see it. Shall I see that again? Shall I say that again? You are not giving second sight. You are not being given second sight just because you're a nice old soul. You're being given second sight so you can teach it, so you can talk about it and write about it and explain it. Here is what it means. So Elijah walks into a field in 2 Kings and turns into light, and his Merkabah shines and goes. And it could stop there. But instead, there's more teaching. What does it mean? What is a Merkabah? What is it for you? What do you do with it? How do you use it? What's in it? Instead of simply reporting how beautiful it is and seeing it go to the sky, it becomes an actionable item to teach. What are the shapes around it? What is the geometry around it? There are teachers, dear ones, who have given these things for years. When the teacher, Peggy Phoenix Dubrow, who you saw earlier today, saw the cosmic lattice for the first time in her mind's eye, in that vision that she had, she simply didn't see it, have an artist draw it, animate it, and move on. What came with it was teaching. Phases and phases. What does it mean? How do you use it? What's the next step? What does it really call for within a human being? What's the finish line here? What do you do? And those who are being given these second sights, dear ones, right now, I'm telling you, have something you should know about, because in there is an encapsulated message of what do you do with it? What is the actionable item? How do you use it? What does it mean? And sometimes it's not work. Sometimes, be ready, you've hit a layer of love, or a layer of compassion, or one that says, just sit here and feel this before you go to the next one. But it's still actionable. There are things to do with every single second sight you have. Every color, every shape, every language, every light. That is the task of the old soul this day. First, to know it. Second, to discover it. And third, to reveal it.